What's up, guys? Bird Yugioh here, coming at you with another deck profile. This time it's going to be Fur Hire. Before I get started, I just want to let you guys know I've got a bunch of really awesome decks coming up. Some like mishmash decks and just some really fun kind of rogue. You guys know I do rogue budget stuff. If you guys like that, go ahead and subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with the best Fur Hire in the deck is Beat. So all of these first few that I'm showing, if he's on the field, you can they have the effect that you can special summon one Fur Hire from your hand, except for the same name. And then his specific effect, if a Fur Hire monster is special summoned to your field, you can add one Fur Hire from your deck to your hand. So he's your searcher. He's by far, like I said, the best one. Really, really good. The second best one of these guys is going to be Seal. Same effect. So if he's on the field, you can special summon another Fur Hire from your hand. So it's kind of like it's really special summon heavy. So you're probably thinking right away, what about Nibiru? We'll get to that here in a minute. It's got its own protection basically built in. This deck does. But if a Fur Hire monster is special summon while this is on the field, you can target one Fur Hire in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So that's why he's good, because he adds you more to your hand, so that you can then special summon some more. Philo is really good. This one targets one monster in the graveyard and special summons it in defense position. You have to place it on the bottom of the deck if it leaves the field, though, but that doesn't usually matter too much. So really, really good. 2 Donpa. Again, like I said, all of these have that same effect. You can special summon one monster Fur Hire from your hand if this is on the field. When a Fur Hire is special summoned to the field while you control this guy, you can target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. So that's really good, especially going second, obviously, when your opponent actually has some stuff on the board for you to pop. 2 Helmer. He allows you to discard a Fur Hire. Doesn't have to be a monster. It could be like even if you have double Mayhem Fur Hire, you can discard one of those, and then you draw one card. So it can fix your hand sometimes. And then the one-ofs, for as far as the little guys go, 1 Bravo. He's going to increase the attack of all Fur Hire monsters currently on the field by 500 attack and defense until the end of the turn. So, and he's got some really high attack, so he's 1900. 1 Recon. This one is you can target one set card on the field and destroy it. That's why it's only 1. It's just okay. So that's it for the little ones. These are the ones that spam the board basically and allow you to go into your link plays and whatnot. Let me just kind of move. There we go. Move those up a little bit. Now for the big ones, and probably the best one, is Raphael Champion Fur Hire. So these ones don't have the effect same as the little ones. You can't special summon off of them, but if this card is special summoned, you can activate the top cards of your deck equal to the number of Fur Hire monsters you control, and you can add one of them to your hand, and then you shuffle the rest back in the deck. So it does get you some card advantage, but the main reason we play it, especially at 3, is that when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can discard one card Fur Hire, so you can discard even Mayhem Fur Hire, and you negate the activation. So when your opponent's trying to Nibiru, you special summon 4 times, or probably 3 times, and then you'll want to special summon him out, and then you can go into your link plays and whatnot, and he'll be there to protect you. So this deck has its own built-in protection. You play 1 Wiz Sage Fur Hire. This one, if it's special summoned, you gain 500 life points for each Fur Hire you control with a different name. And then its quick effect is you can discard 1 card Fur Hire and negate the activation of a spell or trap card. So that's monster effects. This is going to be spell or trap. And the last monster we play is Dinah. If he's special summoned, you can banish cards from your opponent's graveyard up to the number of Fur Hires you control. And then monsters your opponent controls cannot target Fur Hire monsters you control for attacks except this one. So he's kind of built-in protection, you know, just a one of. Pretty good sometimes. So that's it for the monsters. All really good and all work very well together. And then I've showed it multiple times, but your main spell card is Mayhem Fur Hire. It's a quick play. You just target one Fur Hire in your graveyard, special summon in a defense position. So it just gets you card advantage. Really good card. Playing 3 Called by the Grave. You prefer your monsters to not get, Effect Veiler or whatever, or Ashed, as far as beat goes. So Called by the Grave is going to help you out a lot. 3 Mind Control. The main point of this deck is to just get a bunch of different types on the board, because pretty much all of these are all different types. So you can use Mind Control on your opponent's, say like Cyberse monster, and then use it and link it away into Fulgo, because he just requires 3 monsters with different types, and he's extremely good. And also Mind Control is just a great card, especially at 3, because you can activate it more than once per turn. Play 2 Instant Fusion. We got a couple targets in the extra deck for going first or second, depending. 1 Reinforcement Army, that's going to search out the Beat, which is, like I said, is the best little guy that you got. 1 Tenki, that's going to search out Seal. And then we got a bunch of 1-ofs. Monster Reborn, for obvious reasons, you can just special summon one from the grave. 1 for 1, that's going to special summon Philo, but basically it's just getting you another monster on board. Upstart Goblin, there's not much draw power, so just Upstart Goblin to kind of thin out the deck. Reasoning, because they're all pretty much different levels, so the chances of this going through and also loading the grave for like Mayhem Fur Hire or Monster Reborn, very, very good. And then 1 Pinpoint Landing, you're doing a lot, pretty much exclusive special summoning from your hand, so this just gets you more, more ability to draw. And then the main reason, the last 3 cards, that this deck even has a chance and is pretty good actually, is because of there can only be one. Because you're playing so many different types that this card hardly ever hurts you. So good, really good against all the other decks. Because like I said, decks are using like Cybers, with a lot of their linked monsters and stuff, but this card is amazing in this deck, and it's now a lot cheaper since it's got the reprint. Same with this whole deck. This whole deck used to be kind of expensive. Now it's just super cheap with all the reprints that it's getting. So that's it for the main deck. We stuck with 40 just to try to get to our powerful cards quicker. Extra deck, we played 2 Fulgo. He's by far the best, your best extra deck monster. Like I said, he just requires 3 monsters with different types. He can't be used as link material, so you can't use him to go and do other stuff, but he opens up a couple zones for you to then do other stuff with. But you can special summon, basically he's going to be special summoning from the deck. You special summon 1 for hire with a different type than the 3 monsters used to make this from your deck in defense position. And then if a card your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can draw 1 card. So off of the Fur Hire, or battle or anything, you're going to be getting some advantage. And then if you control 3 or more monsters for hire with different names, you can draw 2 additional cards. So really good draw power if you have him, plus 3 or more for hire monsters on the board. So that's why you're playing that 2. He's the most important one. He just gets you more advantage by special summoning from the deck. And then just kind of generic stuff, because since you're spamming the board, you can go into other stuff very easily if you need to. So Nightmare Phoenix, Cerberus, Unicorn, and Griffin. Griffin's not as necessary, but These I feel are just to get rid of problem cards. Griffin, sometimes it's just nice to end on a Griffin. Akashic Magician, sometimes it comes up. Not too often though, because it does require the same type. Ningirsu, non-targeting, removal, pretty good. And then for our rank 4s, link 4s, because they're pretty easy to get into. Topologic, Borload, and Saryuja are good, cheap, very good options. Our instant fusion targets, Mud Dragon, because he is worm type, so you're pretty much, he'll help you go into full go, is pretty much what he's there for. 1000 eyes restrict for going second. One Ronin Raccoon, he's pretty good. You can get into him fairly easily. You're getting into him with, where is he? With Donpa is basically how you're getting into him. And you can pretty much choose, like if you go into full go and have a Donpa on board, then you can special summon another Donpa. So, and then we got Hope Harbinger, because of our Rafale, and I think that's it. Yep, he's the only level 8, but it's easy enough if you got a couple of him to then just go into Hope Harbinger and have a spell trap, or a spell negate, basically. So that's it for the deck, guys. Like I said, I'm coming up with a bunch more awesome decks. I'll be trying to post, every few days I try to get at least a deck profile out there. But this is a super fun deck that is now extremely cheap, so I would definitely recommend trying to pick this one up, especially these There Can Only Be One. Those are probably already even spiked a little bit after the last YCS, because now Sky Strikers are using it like mad. So, but yeah, go ahead and like I said, the actual main deck and everything is like dirt cheap. They're all commons now, very easy to get to. But yeah, if you haven't already, go and subscribe, guys. I got some awesome stuff coming up that I don't want you to miss. So we'll catch you up on the next one.